Hey guys, and welcome back to another Marvel Rivals video. In this one, we're going to be spectating the world's best Ultron player as currently stands after he's been out for a couple of days now. Right now, this dude is sitting on 50 games on Ultron with an 88% win rate, which, to be fair, is pretty good. So, we're going to jump straight in and see what this dude is doing that potentially you aren't, or I aren't, or anybody. So, he's playing pretty low to the ground, but that might just be because of the map. He's keeping his E on the DPS for now, and okay, he's just on his fly. He's going aggressive. Okay, so he's pretty aggressive on this champ. They are going maybe a little bit too aggressive, but he's consistently switching his E, which is good. That's one of the things that maybe a bunch of people don't necessarily do, but he's used his dash once at the moment and it's been aggressively. He's not used it to get away at the moment. And I've yet to really see him use his right click either. Okay, he has the team up ability with Iron Man, so that's fine. He's gonna boost that, and not really anything happens. He's just going to put it on that. Okay, he's going to use his ult as a DPS ult. Interesting. I've seen a lot of people say it's not that great as a DPS ult and kind of just do it as a healing ult. But maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's not the way it is. He's going to get another kill there on the Hawkeye. And this dude's just going to make sure that he can heal up all of his guys. Okay, interesting. So as of right now, he's playing pretty... Well, he's playing very aggressive. And he is consistently changing his E on whoever needs it, really. Oh dear, he's just been frozen. But he's now... Okay, now he's using his thing defensively. Of course, this dude doesn't have his own heal, so he's going to get taken down by that because he was stuck inside of the room with the Storm ult, which isn't great. But that's fine. He's going to use his dash out of spawn just to get the speed boost so that he can get to the fight faster. He's going to put his E on to the tank, and like you see, I think most comps now, at least on these types of games at the moment, are all being Ultron and Jeff. Those are the only two supports that you really see at the moment. He's gonna pop his thing, and he's not gonna get enough to be able to get any sort of healing, and he is down. That sucks for him, but we'll have to see what they could do on a little bit of a better thing. So I'm interested because I would have assumed that Ultron players would use his infinite range auto attacks as an advantage, but this guy seems to be staying in the point of his team so that he can be relatively close to everybody, just so that he can swap his E, which is interesting. I don't know why he auto-attacks sometimes. It might be like an animation cancel, maybe. But it's interesting. Okay. So, there's a lot of flyers in this game, which is going to be probably annoying for this guy. Oh, he's just going to use his... Oh, he's going to use his ult on the flyers. Interesting, okay. He's going to get another kill there. And he's going to try and get another kill with his ult onto the Ultron. Interesting, okay. So, he uses his little shield on as many people as he can around him, but as soon as somebody dies with his E on, he just puts it onto somebody. No, okay, he still has it on somebody. Interesting. Okay, he still has it on Jeff. That's fine. And he's using the cover to his advantage, of course. But it's all interesting. This dude is playing it not as I thought people would, but it's very, very clear to me that both of these guys that are playing Ultron are definitely just using ult on cooldown regardless of whatever's happening. So, maybe that's the way to go. Maybe you are supposed to just use it on cooldown to use it as much as you can. This dude seems to be chunking heavy damage off of people. Obviously, with Ultron, you have to make sure that you're good tracking. Otherwise, you're not going to do as much because the most of his damage comes from the end little burst damage there. He has ult, so I'm going to assume he's going to use it in this next fight. But he's not going to use it now whilst everybody's just kind of still cowering away a bit too much. And yeah, he's just got his E on the tank. Everybody just kind of needs to stay around that tank to get the most off of that ult. It is interesting. Okay, so okay, he out healed the enemy Magneto ult there, which is interesting. Okay, he's gonna use his left shift to kind of just try and get as many people as he can inside of his thing there, as well as to get into a better position to re-put his E on somebody. It does look like the most optimum way to play this champ is obviously with his team up ability, which makes sense. But even still, you don't get the team up ability that often, and most of this guy's pressure is actually coming from everything else, not the team up ability. So that's fair enough. All you have to really remember with Ultron is the fact that he is a DPS support, so he does a lot more DPS than a lot of other heroes. I mean, currently at the moment he's on 6,000 DPS, so he's not doing more DPS than any of the DPSs, but he is doing significantly more than both the enemy healers, other than the enemy Ultron. He's also got 11,000 healing, so he's still keeping up in healing compared to everybody else. You just have to make sure that you're doing it properly, really. He's obviously his healing is not going to out heal anybody. Other than your ult, you might be able to out heal people then, but other than that, it's not going to happen. His healing beam with the team up ability might be able to out heal some things, but that's just how it is. He's not an excessive healer, you know. I think he's just going to hold his ult here, wait for everybody to group back up. Then everybody's within his E. Obviously, he can heal himself if he's close to the person he's put the E on, which maybe is why he plays so close to them. And now he's just going to use his ult to try and pressure the enemy supports, and he doesn't get any of them. That sucks. But the enemy Jeff does grab the enemy tank. Oh, and two other people, one healer and one DPS, I think, and just throw them off the map. So they do actually manage to finish that round there. Now, first half, this guy is 7,000 damage, 3,000 damage blocked, 12k healing with a 50% accuracy. He's 17, 3, and 16 so far. So he's got a lot of assists compared to everybody else. He's actually got the most assists in the game, other than this Jeff, who's got one more than him that's on his team. But other than that, he is out DPSing pretty much every other support, which is what you want to see for your Ultron anyways, because if he's not, then there's probably something wrong, because he ain't out healing anybody really. But you know, you got to use that as your advantage. If you're not necessarily a great healing support, you could still play Ultron as a DPS support and get a lot more from it. That's fine. Just people need to learn to play differently compared to it. But obviously with this healing beam from the team up ability, he does become quite a better champion. But he is putting pressure. He is literally playing in the front line, more or less, with his tank, to be able to keep getting healed by his own healing, I guess, is the thought process here. He's going to pop his ult as soon as it gets off, just to counter theirs as well. And yeah, he is just going to do as much as he can with it. He's not necessarily utilizing the infinite amount of range that he has, but I'm going to assume there's a reason for that. I just don't know what it is. But like I say, this dude has an 88% win rate on this champ with 50 games in at the moment. Dude's only been out for a couple of days as it is, so the fact that he's got this sort of win rate on a champ that's only just come out is pretty good. And of course, he is currently #1 in the world, so I'm sure that will change. But as of right now, that's what it is. And I think what we're going to be seeing throughout this season as well is probably going to be a pretty obvious flyer comp with these two as the main supports of Jeff and Ultron. And, of course, Luna Snow if she's up, because she just makes Hawkeye incredibly strong as well. But most times people just ban Luna Snow, so it's not really much of an issue. Is he gonna... oh. How did he not get anybody there? That's interesting. I guess Punisher went on into his E. Jeff went onto his shift, I think. I don't know. I didn't know he was immune to that, but fair enough. Okay, this dude's just gonna use his E as much as he can to heal up as many people as he can at the time. He's gonna use his healing beam when it's on cooldown and he needs it. That's good. He's got his ult up now, so he's probably gonna use it in a second, I would imagine. Yeah, here we go. And he's gonna try and just out damage that, but he's not going to with the shield there. He can put a lot of pressure onto the enemy supports with that, which is what he seems to be doing. If he doesn't need to heal his team, he just puts pressure. He is playing quite low to the ground, which is quite interesting. Probably just because the enemy team has quite a lot of flyers anyways, so it's not as needed, but maybe it just helps other people heal him too. I don't know. But they're gonna push on. He's gonna use his healing beam just on one person, and there we go. They've just done 2 more ults, so I don't think they're probably gonna win this fight here. However, he is putting a lot of pressure onto people. Interesting. Yeah, so he can just like hide there. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like they're probably just going to push back here. He does have his heal beam up now, so he might just use that instead. Oh, he got a bit stuck there. But let's see. Okay. I wonder if he's ever going to be able to like get behind them to use ult to oh yeah, here we go. So he uses his shift aggressively now with his ult. He does manage to get one of them, forces the Luna ult so that Iron Man can wipe out 2 of them there as well. So actually, that might have just been the one fight for them, to be honest with you. He's managed to do a lot with that ult, even though he only took out the Jeff and then got taken out himself. The fact that he managed to do that is pretty good on his own, just for a support as well. They have just teleported onto the point, so that might prove a little bit of a problem, but he's got his E on the tank. He's shielding as many people as he can, and everybody's pretty grouped up, considering the fact that they're all on the point. But it looks like they are going to just eliminate the enemy team here. He's going to use his E aggressively to try and get onto the point and help his DPS with his heals. And they win the game. Interesting. So, things to take away from it. He pretty much just used his shift to reposition himself in order to help heal his teammates. And sometimes get away if he needed it, if he was on low HP. He was pretty much using his shield on cooldown, and his ult pretty much as soon as he got it. So, that is how somebody that is rank 1 of Ultron at the moment uses Ultron. I hope that gives you guys some tips and tricks on how to use Ultron himself, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!